I don't know if you're familiar at all. I'm a millennial, so I loved The Hills when it was on. Spencer Pratt, Heidi Montag, they're a millennial superpower couple. Spencer Pratt has been going to town on Mayor Bass, Gavin Newsom, Los Angeles, saying he was a fire victim. And he's calling out a lot of this, and they've called him a C-list reality star, a conspiracy theorist, because he's been pointing out some of the things that have not been adding up, not just where the money's gone, but also this restructuring, if you will, in the Palisades and areas affected by fire. And they call it a conspiracy theory, but maybe you know a little bit more about it. Kind of rezoning these areas for affordable housing. That's the conspiracy theory, that perhaps they're trying to change this area in the Palisades and elsewhere that is, very expensive housing that burned down, and try to change it into affordable housing or something of that nature. He's been calling it out, and they've been telling him to basically shut up.
I actually follow Spencer Pratt on social media regarding, they're just going to build 9,000 new units of low-income housing. I didn't find any facts to support that. However, the way State Senator Ben Allen here in my area tacked this on, it really has to do with how messed up the way the California legislature operates. Because it was late in the session, he tacked on a bunch of language to an unrelated portion of a bill to try and get some of this relief through. That doesn't mean that it's all pure and clean to me either, but that was added on to help the fire victims in a way that seems to appear, by the way, that it could allow for this rezoning, and it could allow for low-income housing to be put in areas where people had their magnificent homes that were destroyed. The left is saying, oh no, we aren't going to do any of this. The way it was written, it could be done. I'm concerned though, Tomi, that it is to what you're saying, and this is why I absolutely distance myself from the progressive left here in California, is that they are, and the track record supports that they would try and do something like that. So even if it's a conspiracy, it's not a completely baseless one, because we've seen that happen. And so why would you take these people's property away and make it difficult for them to rebuild? And then, there's a reason to be suspicious.
They can call it a conspiracy theory all day long, but it's not baseless. And I'm wondering if you think that we're ever going to get answers on it, or are we just going to have to wait for them to build the affordable housing units and say, I told you so?
I actually lean your way on this one, Tomi.